Welcome back to DeChamp's Rants and Reviews. I'm Mark DeChamp Deschamps, and I'm here today reviewing Marvel Cosmic Invasion, the latest from developer Tribute Games and publisher DotEmu. Now, if those two names are familiar to you, it's probably because they were responsible for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, an old school style arcade beat 'em up released back in 2022. Now, if you played that game, which you absolutely should because it was fantastic, you have a good idea of what to expect from Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Now, instead of following the TMNT, the game puts you in the role of some of the most iconic Marvel characters, including Spider-Man, Wolverine, Phoenix, the Silver Surfer, and there's even some like deeper cut characters like Phyla-Vell and Cosmic Ghost Rider. So you get a much bigger pool of characters to pull from, which is honestly an area where this game actually really exceeded Shredder's Revenge, which I loved. I was a huge fan of that game. Now, Marvel Cosmic Invasion gives you many more characters to choose from, and not only that, but it gives you more incentive to pick from them, which is one of the reasons that the game is quite good. Um, the game actually rewards you for picking different characters. One of the problems that I had with Shredder's Revenge is that I found myself leaning on Donatello quite a bit. Donatello is my favorite Ninja Turtle. Marvel Cosmic Invasion has different challenges in every single stage. So you get rewarded if you decide to try somebody else out for size. And with a big pool of Marvel favorites, it's pretty fun to experiment and see, where each one is coming from. Now, Marvel Cosmic Invasion isn't quite like a follow-up like we had with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like Shredder's Revenge was very much essentially a follow-up to Konami's arcade TMNT games from the 90s. Marvel Cosmic Invasion is very much similar to Konami's X-Men game that came out in that same decade, but at the same time, it does a lot of its own thing. There's a little bit of Capcom's Marvel fighting games in there, which is fantastic. In the way that the characters move, in some of their specials and stuff, it does feel like very much a hybrid of Capcom and Konami styles, which is very cool and very different. On top of all of that, the 90s feel is carried over with some classic voice actors. For instance, Cal Dodd comes back to reprise the role of Wolverine. So you get that X-Men 1992 cartoon, vibe from it. And I love that. So, arcade style brawler from the Shredder's Revenge team. This is a real easy recommendation from me. I give it about a 4 out of 5. Um, it's fun. It's got a diverse cast. There's so many amazing Marvel deep cut references throughout. Like the soap opera that Mary Jane Watson was on gets a drop, like, in the background. Secret Hospital. Brute Force, a group of animal based characters that very rarely ever get referenced appear in the background. I'm thinking that they might show up as like DLC characters down the line, but right now, Tribute Games and .emu are being very, very quiet about their future plans. I'm interested to see what happens. This is very fun. It's based very loosely on a Marvel event from the early to mid 2000s called Annihilation, and in that storyline, Annihilus has gathered forces that are decimating the universe. And in that storyline, it came down to a lot of Marvel cosmic characters to stop him, including like the Silver Surfer and Rocket Raccoon. This brings it a little more back to Earth. We get like the whole Annihilus's forces are going across the whole Marvel universe. So we have like Captain America and Iron Man joining in on the fight where they weren't really involved in the original story. So it pulls from some comics, but it does its own thing, and it's really cool. It's a really fun game. If you're a Marvel fan, you're going to find so much to enjoy in this. And even if you're just like a casual Marvel guy, this is a great, great game. Um, if you're in the mood for something that throws you back to those arcade classics of the 90s, couldn't recommend it enough. I'm interested to see what Tribute Games does next. You know, we've now gotten a follow up to Konami's TMNT games. Now we kind of have a spiritual successor to their X-Men arcade game. If you ask me, the only thing that we're now waiting on is a follow up to Simpsons. Like, we need either a brand new Simpsons arcade game, um, in that same style, or I would love to see like a different animation, and a different adult animated show get a similar treatment. I would kill to have like a Bob's Burgers game from Tribute Games and DotEmu in this same style. I think I'm kind of dreaming on that, but hey, a man can dream. There are a couple things that potential players may want to keep in mind. First of all, because this is an arcade style brawler, the length is a little bit on the shorter side, which might make people a little hesitant about spending the money. The second is that when compared to Shredder's Revenge, the soundtrack isn't quite as catchy. There were a lot of really great tracks in Shredder's Revenge, and honestly, nothing nearly as strong in this game. It's available on Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox, PlayStation, and PC right now. It's I believe $29.99, but you might be able to find some early discounts. So huge recommendation for me. And if you check it out and you do enjoy it and you didn't play Shredder's Revenge, I'm telling you right now, go straight from playing this to Shredder's Revenge. Both games are also on Xbox Game Pass, so perfect incentive to sign up and give those a try. All right, thank you so much for listening. And if you did check out the game already and you have some thoughts, maybe you disagree, maybe you agree, maybe you have some characters that you want to see released as DLC down the line. I encourage you to drop a line in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this game. Let me know what you want to see next from Tribute Games. So leave a comment. You can also get a hold of me on social media on Blue Sky at Mark DeChamp, and I encourage you to subscribe. I really like reviewing games. I really like talking about games. I'm hoping that we get a chance to interview some developers on here. So it's much easier if I have a big amount of subscribers to go to developers and say, hey, we have a ton of different, watchers that we can do that sort of thing. Would love to have somebody from Tribute Games on here to talk about this and go from there. So hit that subscribe button if you like what I'm saying, and thank you so much for watching.